Hey guys, hope everybody had a good weekend. I'm just popping in. Gonna do a quick little overview of some things here within the market. S&P 500 shot up today, which is I actually don't have a good feeling about that, just simply because I was hoping that we would see maybe a sell-off this week, and then really check out a few other things. Um, Basically, we'll see a sell-off and then a turnaround later in the week, or maybe even a sell-off for the whole entire week, and then put that wick in, like go up a little, then come back down, hit some support, and then rally back up. So we'll see what happens. The day isn't over yet. I am short the S&P 500 right now, so it's a good sign that we are moving down, hopefully. But we'll see what happens there. But let's go ahead and go into the crypto markets. So market cap for overall crypto is $1 trillion, which has been pretty darn cool. The volume that they've actually had, which has been really impressive, now starting to pick up, is about 100 billion overall. So it's starting to pick up even more. So that's actually been another good thing. And let's check out the actual markets themselves. Here we go. So we're going to come here to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is sitting at 2,300, almost 2,400. Ethereum is sitting at 1,721. We have BNB sitting at 295. And we're sitting at Cardano at 52 cents, XRP 36 cents. We have Solana sitting at $42, and then we also have Dogecoin sitting at 69 or 6 cents, almost 7 cents here. Polkadot sitting at 6 cents. Or excuse me, Polkadot's in at $8. That'd be crazy if it was at 6 cents, right? And Poly or Matic is sitting at 93 cents. This thing's a beast. It's a pro beast. They've got some really good fundamental stuff that's going to be happening here real soon. So it's really interesting to see what's going to happen. I almost forgot. I apologize, my friend. Let me go ahead and post. Here we are. Give me 1 second, guys. I don't mean to. Forgot to do something here real quick. 1 second. One moment, guys. I forgot to do something here. Pulling something else up here real quick. Apologize about that. I do not understand why this is doing that. Let's try this. Here we go. Here. I'm actually sending this out to everybody in my community. So apologize about that. If you want to join the community and be able to connect with me, go to Moonrock Official International, and then I will be there under Pedro. Um, and then from there, it'll be good. encourage you guys to come check me out. It'll be fun. Questions? Here we are. Okay. Here we go. Sorry about that, guys. I just forgot to send that off to my community, let them know that I am live, and so I had to jump back in and take care of that. So sorry. Thank you for taking the time for even listening to me. I'm just going over real quick what we have. I can just start over real quick. So we're looking at a $1 trillion market cap finally again over with Bitcoin, or not Bitcoin, but with the overall market, which is good. That's the market cap, which is nice. Now, I had a guy this weekend I was talking to. He goes, "Man, you guys are so smart. It's not even worth my time." And he goes, "Apple itself, like there's three primary tech companies right now that are over $1 trillion. I think it's four." And he goes, "And there's multiple just stocks in the S&P 500 that are over, close to $1 trillion as well. So you guys, your whole entire industry is 1 trillion." And I turned to him, I said, "You know what? You can say the same thing with tech in relationship with the industrials when tech started coming about, right? And that's with Google, that's with Yahoo." And I agree with him. He started also naming off like a lot of the scams that happen and all the stuff that goes along. And I said, "You know what? You're right. But we can also see the same thing with every major new industry that is created. I mean, people were selling the Brooklyn Bridge, So I mean, we are not immune to those things, and because it's a new industry. But this is not a Beanie Baby fad. This is not a um, you know something that's going to go away. This is good technology that's going to be around indefinitely. And right now, I see that $1 trillion market cap overall on our industry as a plus. That means you're able to get in, and you're going to get in on the Yahoos before they are Yahoos. You're going to get in on the um, Googles before they are Googles. So, I told him, I said, "Listen, take 1%, and see what you could do. Make you 1% of your, whatever you make. Even if it's $100. I mean, imagine if you bought $100 when Google first started, before or Apple first started. Every week $50 and threw it in there. Like open up an account and put it in there. I mean, you'd be sitting on easily probably 500, maybe even $1 million currently at its market value. So you got to be careful there. You can't judge a market based off its capitalization and its infancy stage. That's like looking at Andre the Giant, who was probably a big baby. I'm dating myself. I don't know. It's like dating somebody and sizing them up when they're small preemies, and then saying, "Oh, they're not going to get tall at all," right? So they're just not. They're in the infancy stage, and that's where we're at in crypto. And so right now, I want to encourage you guys, making sure that you're dollar cost averaging. Don't be intimidated by the sell-offs. Look at the sell-offs as a way to get into the market and be able to see and handle things. So I just want to encourage you guys. I know that we might have another sell-off again. We might, like the reason why I say that is because I was hoping to see Bitcoin rally harder this weekend, and we didn't. And so it kind of floundered around a little this weekend. So we'll see what happens. But it did okay. It wasn't bad, but I was hoping to see it get up to that 30,000 mark. That was my goal. That was my hope. So we'll see what happens. Let's jump into the statement here real quick. This is a disclaimer. The information provided in this video and website and live streams does not constitute as investment advice, financial advice, trading advice, or any other sort of advice, and should not treat any other video and website content as such. I, Moonrock Coin, and guests do not recommend that any cryptocurrency or any other assets that are mentioned should be bought, sold, or held by the viewer or listener. Do conduct your own due diligence and consult a financial advisor before making any investment decisions. I am not a financial advisor, and this content is only meant for entertainment purposes. Please consult a tax professional on any gains or losses as a result of investment into crypto or any assets invested in. This is not financial advice, but it's for entertainment and social educational purposes. Thanks guys for listening in here real quick. Let's jump right into this. Looks like my guest, it just probably hit me up. 1 second. Oh shoot. Tuesday. Alrighty. I realized he sent me something, and I'm realizing it was supposed to be Tuesday, not Monday. So forgive me for that. I gotta make a quick little. Oh shoot. He is right. For whatever reason, I thought it was today. Had a little brain fart there. If ever I grow into a very big YouTube channel, who knows, right? You never know. I don't think Mr. Big ever thought he was going to hit 100 million subscribers, right? I think he was just trying to do some stuff. I think he was ecstatic if he hit. But if I ever do, they're going to look back at these first shows and be like, man, he was a mess. Sorry. Let's. All right. I'm so sorry. All right, so let's jump right back into these charts here real quick. All right, so I'm going over some quick little stuff here. So before we move on forward, so we're gonna check out a few of the top stuff here, and then we'll pull back. So we'll go right into here. Talk to me. All right, here we are. All right, guys, here we go. We pull up the Bitcoin and its movements over the weekend. So you see over the weekend, we basically put some pretty big seller wicks here, and we're starting to sell off. We're coming into this 200 period moving average on the weekly here, and if we find, I don't think we're going to find support with this, and the only reason why is we've come down and hit this a couple times. It hit it, now it's come back down and hit it again. So I think this is the second time that it is retesting this area here. So we pushed it. Actually, you know what? I could be wrong. No, this is the first time. So it's hitting it for the first time, and we are seeing some type of a bounce. But when I look at the daily, right, and this is important, right? So we're starting a new month for Bitcoin. Now, like I said on Friday, I was hoping to see that Bitcoin would at least come up halfway, of the market, but it didn't. It pretty much just went, maybe 1/3, or maybe even a little under a half. But to really see some strong movements is what I was looking for. I really wanted to see it really kind of climb over the weekend and maybe get up into this area here, right? This would actually be more of that, but it didn't. And so we started seeing a little bit of some wicks come in, and so we have a little bit of indecision. So now that I'm looking at, we can see how the week finished off. You can see here that we put in a little, not a doji, but like a body doji, about the same amount of wick on both sides. So it's not really giving us an indication which direction it really wants to go. I personally think it's going to go down, but we'll find out what happens. But if we look at the daily, we have a bunch of seller wicks coming in. So this to me screams that it's probably going to go down. Okay. These are sellers putting in. Now the other part behind it as well, and I forgot to mention this as well. The only thing that it's saving grace is that we're seeing sellers kind of weaken off, but then today we have a lot of sell pressure really pushing it down. So it all just depends if we see a sell off. I personally think that we're going to see a sell off because the S&P 500 is most likely going to go down. So we'll see what happens there. But I think as if the S&P 500 goes down, we're going to definitely see some movements down into maybe back in the 21,000 mark here, where we'll probably test this 50 period moving average on the weekly, and then we'll test, or excuse me, on the monthly, and then we'll test this 50 period moving average right here. I think the 2100 mark is one of those things I think we'll come back down to and test, and see what happens from there. But over the weekend, seeing these seller wigs, I mean, we pushed up, then we sold off. We pushed up. I think I was looking at this. It was Saturday. This one, yeah, it was Friday. It was Sunday, Saturday. Yeah, I saw this happen. I was like, oh man, we're gonna push up. Nice. I was actually excited to sit there and see that push up, because that push up to me indicates, all right, good. Like I said, I wanted to see us, but get up to the upper level of 26, 30,000 mark. And we all know, like Bitcoin, it can do it within a day. It can even climb up to even 40,000 if it really wants to, right? It gets going, and it's like a freight train. But price was rejected in that area, 3 times, 4 times. So it's gonna be really interesting. If we put in a higher low, which would be around in this area here, and it start to move up higher, then that to me is more important, just because it's putting in a higher low and it's continuing that trend up. So that might be a stronger point. But we're at this new month chart here, so it's starting off. We need to put in a seller wick here. So we'll see what happens here, or excuse me, we need to put in a buyer wick. So this could sell off. Put the buyer wick in for the month, and then continue up to here as well. So there's a few options here. Like I always bring up in the markets, you need to be very flexible. You can't just be rigid to each situation, because where you might need to be going short, right? You're thinking, oh, I need to go long. If the market's going down for the day and you're day trading, you need to go short. If the market is moving up for the day, you need to consider going long, right? Like, these are just basics. We all obviously have rules and what a trend is, but it's one of those things. And I also, somebody brought up to me my intention that this looks like um, a Mickey's drink, but I want to throw this out. This is actually spring water. And so I'll throw that out there. I'm not drinking a Mickey's. Not that I'm opposed to beer, but I'm just just giving you guys a sense of seeing this. When you see me drinking this, it's just water. Do a lot of talking on here, so my throat starts to get a little hoarse. All right, so that's what I'm looking at Bitcoin and possible moves on a technical standpoint. But if we find support in this area here, okay, and we start to move up, my next turnaround point is going to be this 89 moving average, and the 89 moving average is also, oh, it's not, okay, I thought that must be on the S&P, not the S&P, another one. So there's nothing there until we get to that 89 moving average. 89, like I said, that is a 25, that's 25,000. That's 2,000 points away. That's a nice little day trade if you play that and get into that, all right? Let's go ahead and move now to Ethereum. Ethereum is looking strong, right? Like I said, guys, when you look at the monthly chart, that monthly chart looked really strong, right? We almost came up all the way to the previous month. So to me, that's really good. Now, I like the fact that we opened up almost right next to it, and now we're coming down first. So me personally, it's probably going to look for support and then start to rally back up even higher. And I know with the advent of, Ethereum, was it 2.0, or and with the low cost fees and everything that they have coming out, Ethereum is strong. And I think sooner or later, Ethereum will overshadow Bitcoin. I don't think anytime soon, but it's coming because they have so many utilities to them and so many things. Give me 1 second. I am so sorry. I have to take this. Can you hear me now, guys? I've been talking this whole entire time and nobody's been muted. All right, I think you guys can hear me now, right? This is silly. Can you hear me? Oh, yay, we can hear. All right, excellent. It is a good day. Yay. Woo. All right. Let's move forward. I apologize behind that. All right, so let's go right back into what I was saying with Ethereum here real quick. So Ethereum, as I want to bring up, is I was very impressed with just that it pushed up really hard, right? And we saw quite a bit of volume coming into Ethereum. And additionally to that, this chart here, like I've said, is this area right here, this peak here, is going to be a testing point to bring in resistance, right? But and additionally to that, I do see a lot of support in this 1350, 1300 area. We have the, and I'm gonna bring this up again right here. We have the monthly 50 period moving average. We saw that it came and tested, rebounded back up and pushed up. And additionally to that, we also have the 200 period moving average sitting on the weekly chart, which is going to be its first test. So when we come down and the daily 8 is sitting right here, so we have quite a bit of support coming in. Now, we could see Ethereum sell off, which is what, and then see a big buy wick come back up, right? That is something that is more advantageous. What I want to see, right? It shows that the bulls are definitely in charge and they are definitely pushing the market into a straight direction up. So I put that in the idea so for everybody knows that if you do see another sell-off for Ethereum, you want to also see how it responds to these support areas. Now the backside behind it as well, and I want to bring this up as well, is that the backside is if Bitcoin starts to sell off hard, right? And we start to see now put in lower lows and lower highs, we're going to see then Ethereum start to do the same thing until Bitcoin and Ethereum do kind of separate and Ethereum does step in and become more dominant. I do feel sooner than later we're going to see unless Bitcoin really starts to bring a lot of utility like Ethereum, I don't see Bitcoin lasting, like 50, 30, 40 years from now. I could really see Ethereum though moving in that direction just simply because all the utility that it brings and everything that Vitalik is doing, that he just really wants to change the world with it. And and I think that's like a Steve Jobs, right? Like, or a Bill Gates, right? That they want to change the world through it. So it's going to be really interesting. And the other part behind it is the fact is that we're still under $1 trillion market cap overall within the markets, right? Or within the crypto market. That it's, anything can change. So, but for now, when Bitcoin, if it does start to put lower highs and lower lows, we start to see massive sell-offs. We will see sell-offs within Ethereum. So it's going to be interesting to see, is it going to hold these support areas, or are we going to see it continue down and then finish off? Because like I said, I still feel like we're going to come and test the 700 area to that 500 mark area. So it's going to be interesting to see if Bitcoin holds, are we going to continue up, which we should, but if Bitcoin does not hold, we will most likely see a sell-off within Ethereum, and sooner it'll bounce off these areas, but it will then continue likewise as Bitcoin does, at least for now. So be mindful of that. Now let's check out BNB. BNB is, like I said, this baby's strong. It is no joke. It is handling, and CZ is doing a great job with Binance and what they're doing there. So that coin is really just a phenomenal coin. You know what I'm saying? He does a great job business-wise. He's got a lot of utility like Ethereum, but in additionally to that, he really is for the people and wants to make things really good for the people for trading. I like what they did with Pancake Swap. I like what Pancake Swap did for the futures and how how it's more of a DeFi system now versus a centralized system, which is nice. It makes things more upfront. We can see what's going on within the actual blockchain as people are buying and selling the futures within it. I enjoy the fact is that they are Binance also has so many other utilities to trade, and they're constantly coming up with new products to trade. So that in itself shows more strength within Binance, and it shows right here, especially in the chart. Right, we can definitely see that it's come all the way up to here, right, almost to its peak. So we're probably at 80% rally back up, and it's sold off over the weekend. But we'll jump now to the weekly chart here. You can see here we hit our area right here, and now we had a sell-off. For me, as I'm looking at this, I'm definitely more concerned right here. Not concerned. If we see a Bitcoin sell-off, will we, because we have some good wicks here, are we going to see bouncing where we have, lower high and lower lows, but we do have chances and opportunities to capitalize on the bounces of these zones as well as the moving averages. But to throw out, we have the 8 moving average at this wick area here. I will be shocked if it cuts through this. So be mindful that this area might be another area to capitalize on. So you can actually purchase some more BNB and then sell it as it moves up. I would see if it comes down to this area, I could see us coming back up at least to this this area here at the 27 or 275 area from the 240 as a retest. So you can see here that we do have some seller wicks, but they're not really long seller wicks. They are seller wicks though, so make sure that we're paying attention to that. And additionally to that, let's go ahead and look at these areas of support. Right, we have that 50 period moving average sitting right here, along with that 8 weekly moving average. So, like again, I say this area could be an area of support for BNB. We are putting higher highs and higher lows. We are seeing moving averages and other things show us that it is strong. So, I want to also point out this last bit right here that when it comes down to the volume, we are seeing the volume step down here, right? And whereas price is moving down, which is a bullish indicator for me personally, simply because I see more volume as price is moving up, and as price is moving down, I'm seeing less volume, which indicates to me that people want to buy this, right? And they don't want to short. And so we'll see if people get wrecked who are shorting, but we'll find out. Let's check out ADA here. So Cardano is another one that, like I said, is strong. It is one of those things that I feel like they also have a lot. They're very friendly with other projects. It's the best way of saying it. Like, so I know that Moonrock was considering launching on a few other things, and one of the ones that we considered was Cardano, right? Simply because Cardano is just a much more simpler and easier platform to connect with Ethereum, to connect with other stuff, so that people can get in and out. The whole entire transaction fees are extremely low, and in addition to that, it's just, I hear it, a very easier system. So it makes it advantageous for people to be buying this. And again, like, we see some big sellers, right, step in, and we hit the 200 period moving average. But I want to point this out. As we're selling off, we're seeing less volume step in, and we have a strong amount of buyers stepping in. We're hitting these major moving averages. So it's not like it's going to sit there. I expected us, when we hit this 200 period moving average, to see a sell off at least to the lows here, right? Now, but we're probably not going to put in a lower low just simply because the way the market works, right? It doesn't happen that way. So making sure that you're paying attention to this sell-off in this area. I can see it's touching this 50-period moving average as well as the day 20. So, but it's still showing strength here off of that 8. It's holding. We touched it and now we bounced off. So we'll see what happens throughout the day, but we'll come back to that. Now let's go ahead and go to, I think the next one is AVAX. Give me 1 second, guys. BB, Cardano. Let's check out XRP. It was fun. I just looked at it too. Hey man, trying to get this brain. I feel like when you're talking too much, you can't remember everything. So now here we go. With XRP, let's check out that monthly. We had a huge sell-off from it. As you guys see, we touched this 8-period moving average, and then we sold off. So this here is a huge indication for us, just simply to say it definitely rejected price, and it's definitely looking to go down with that big wick for the month. Let's see how it opened into it. Yeah, all right. So that's not much of an indicator for me right now, but it did go up a little. Now it's starting to sell off. So it's another indication that Cardano, I mean, it has so many stuff. So as it keeps making its lows, man, not Cardano, I keep saying Cardano. With why did I hear XYL? I was wondering why that. I was like, wait, no, that doesn't make sense. All right, let's check this out here again. All right, so similar as well. With XRP, we definitely, let's see how it opened into it. All right, so it looks like it opened the same price here. Yeah, so it's not really telling me much in that aspect, but it did go up and now coming down. So we actually have that monthly 50 here. And let's check out the 8. All right, my people, you see that right here? So these things right here, we want to be paying attention to this. But why is this? So this is the weekly or the daily. So all right. So and whereas this should be the monthly. Doesn't this look bigger? I was like, whoa. Anyways, so ADD there for a second. All right, guys. So paying attention to these things right here as we're moving. I can see it's definitely coming up into. Actually, I see it's going down. We'll see what happens. I see it's going down first and then moving up simply because we are starting to sell off. Let's look at the. Yeah, as you guys can see here, the volume for that monthly chart on on XRP wasn't a lot. We had 2 consecutive months where it really sold off, and it made a good attempt to try to push up, but it's not. From the volume, it's not. So it's not holding. So there wasn't enough buyers to come and really push XRP. So probably I think this down in this area at 21 cents for XRP is probably the next junction point that we see pushed down to. The 31, that 21 area here is definitely a nice area. And and load up here. This area here, this is a great area to load up. So it's nice to be able to get on XRP. We know that XRP with the transactions and what it does and how it's setting up its whole entire ecosystem is phenomenal. So at these prices, I definitely don't see it holding, or I don't see it staying in this area for long, simply because we do see so many. Look, this is a prime example, right? It shot up, came back down, tested, and rallied back up, right? So when it comes into this area, I don't see it balking. I don't see it falling through this. I see us really turning around and pushing back up in this area. So we'll see how long we go sideways. But I could be wrong. And if it does, then the next spot is 11 cents, right, for us. So we'll see what happens there though. Let's go ahead next and check out the weekly. The weekly is similar. We have the 200 period moving average sitting right here. Is that the daily? Was this daily right here? Huh. I do not understand that. Alrighty. So here. Alrighty, guys. You can see here these areas here are. If we do start to rally with XRP, honestly, I see us moving all the way up to here. Just realistically, I do. That 50-cent mark could easily just come instantly. So just be mindful. We did test the 200 period moving average here on that weekly chart or on that daily. Let's go ahead and pull that up. So that daily here is something that, you know, we did touch it. We had a huge sell-off. So I do see us coming back down into this area here, like you see in Ethereum, that 8 period moving average sitting. And we also have the daily SMA sitting here as well. So these are good little areas that we can definitely find. And then from there, if we do see another huge sell-off from here, I wouldn't say sell-off, but, you know, cut itself about 1/3 of its value, we could definitely see at least come down into the 29 area mark. If we bypass this, then I see us then coming down, pushing back up above it, and then, when I say above it, I mean testing our area here, and then selling off into our 21-cent mark area. This is the next area that we see buyers stepping in at. So that's it in a nutshell. Let's jump back now to Solana. Good old Sol. Second, here we are. Okay, so Solana, from a monthly standpoint, like I said, we did was really strong. We saw it really come in. It really went above, and now we're watching it kind of come down a little, which is good of what we want. We want to see it come down into support, and then from there rally back up. You can see here from this level, you have that 20. And then we have that 8. Go. There we are. Oh, that's what it was. All right, so you can see that we're hitting these areas here. It did breach above the highs, where then it probably met some resistance and then sold off. So, but it's still strong. I mean, like I just want to point out, just the fact is that you had good amount of buying volume step in. I would love to see a little bit more above these, but either way, you still see a lot of buying volume step in. Let's check out the weekly. This weekly area, we did bounce off that 8 period moving average. Now we're finding support. We'll see what happens here, but this is a nice little weekly wick here that we're seeing. You can see on the weekly charts that we're definitely increasing our volume into it moving up. So it's another thing to be paying attention to. Wait for the increase of the moving average to move up to it, or for price to come up and test this area. Okay, guys, this is a good area here. All right, let's go into the daily chart. You guys can see here is definitely looking like we saw with the other big indices, or not big indices, but the big coins is that we're seeing a big seller wick here, a big seller wick here, and a fairly sized seller wick here. So, but we do have the 8 and 20 period coming into it, so I can see us stepping into this area and finding support at least at an intraday trading perspective. So if you're looking at it and you're trying to see which way is it probably going to go, I can see it's coming down to that 8 and that 20 period moving average before we do see a turnaround and push back up. Or when it hits, you see a turnaround and push back up, and then we might continue down into that 50 period moving average, which is sitting around that 36, 38 area. So mind you, pay attention to this. So it is starting to pick up, and if we don't stop here, then I can see it's coming back down into this area here, which is the 32-cent mark for good old Solana. Let's jump into this real quick. Last one. Let's look at Dogecoin. I know we were looking at Dogecoin on Friday. I was showing that I wasn't that strong on it. Like I said, I was expecting a type of sell-off down into the 6-cent mark here, the 6.4 area. But really, like I said, I think it's going to come back test this 5-cent mark, just simply because there's not a lot of volume stepping into this. And we definitely see more seller volume versus buying volume, at least on the monthly chart. So when we then consider the weekly monthly chart, right, I'm looking at this going, all right, we're coming up, we're hitting this area. We have a lot of seller wicks on the weekly, and this 200 period moving average has become a stink bump for Doge, right? So it's definitely hitting this and finding more sellers stepping in. Now I could see it's coming, hitting a support, but we've already sold off from the support on the weekly here. So this is definitely not active or really ready to be turned on. So as I'm looking at that, I definitely see it's really dropping a little bit more. At least down, like I said, to that 5.8 area, and down into this 5.5 area, 5-cent area. So giving you that, similar like we were just looking at, guys. A lot of seller wicks, not a lot of buyer wicks. Like I do see it's coming back down into this area. Let's go into DOT. I believe DOT is one of the top. Dogecoin. Yep, that's what I thought. Okay, Dodge. Or not Dodge. DOT. All right. I believe on Sunday I did speak, or Friday I did speak about that. We had that 89 period moving average. We were not putting a lot of buyer wicks, but more seller wicks coming in. I believe that Friday the 10th. Excuse me. Yeah, right here we hit this, and I remember we were moving up, but I said I could see us pushing up and coming into this area between the 200 period and 89 period, and seeing a sell-off at least down to that 7 period mark for DOT, and then from there maybe even really seeing it coming down into this 4-cent or this $4 489 area, right? Just simply because everything is kind of turning around. So we'll find out what happens here. Let's check out the monthly here real quick. Yeah, we're all the way up here. Here we go. Rocking like a hurricane. Alrighty. Alright, so just to point out this little pit, like I said with the other ones, we definitely do have a bunch of sell-off, and then small, not as much buyers that we probably should have for this one right here. So we'll see what happens. But it is selling off. I do see it's coming down into this area right here. Let's check out that weekly. The weekly, we have the 8 PM moving average, and like we have the 20 PM moving average sitting right here on that weekly, but that 20 PM moving average is pretty far away. Oh, that's supposed to happen. There it is. All right, come on, come on. All right, guys. So dot sitting right here, like I said. I see us. I see because we hit the 89 period moving average. We are seeing bigger wicks coming in for bodies. Now our a sell off. So the next spot I do see us is jumping into the $7 area. We do not hold here. The next spot is the $4 area. Let's go ahead and go to the next one here real quick. Polka dot. Next one is going to be Matic. Matic here has been so strong. I mean, it has been. I mean, look at it. We have almost a double top here, so it's just strong. When you look at that monthly chart, look, it blew through the previous month's high, and now we're at the previous second month, and we're hitting supply. So this is really, really strong, guys. This is really strong. If you look at the volume down in this area here, you can see that we had so much volume step in that it definitely was it was a big deal. It's a very big deal that we had that much volume stepping in. Now, one of the things we want to point out is as we continue to move up, where's our resistance levels going to be? So consider and see that there is a resistance level, which is going to be the 8-period moving average. Second, guys. So consider and see that this had a sell-off. If it does sell off, then I do see us maybe coming down. I don't even think we'll even come down this far to the 60-cent mark. It definitely going to be looking to move up. So we'll find out. Let's check out the weekly here. We got a good wick right here. Right here, we also have that weekly period moving average sitting right above in our zone right here. So that again is another, this is another area for it to find support as we continue moving up. I'm just so shocked to see that it defy the odds with Bitcoin, right? Like that's just crazy to sit there and say Bitcoin and Ethereum, it's just demolishing that. So it's really cool to sit there and see Polymatic or Poly or Matic really start to do what it's doing. Polygon is, I know they're coming out with that phone, I believe, and they've got a lot of other cool stuff going on with their system. So I like them. I like them a lot. It's really impressive. If we do see a sell-off, I look for the 68 mark, and if that doesn't hold, right, then look for the 53 mark. Pretty positive this will hold. If not, right, like I said, we have some little areas here that you could go back and retest these 36-cent marks. So if it comes down to these areas, actually buy some over there, right? Because that's a really good deal. And like I said, they've got a lot of good stuff going on. I gotta move my stop here with my trade on the S&P 500. Here we go. Go, ES, go. Drop. All right, so you guys can see this. We got that 8-period moving average in our zone in this area. All right, let's jump right into this area here. Now, we can see and see that we found support here a little bit on that 8, right? We're testing it right now. We'll see if it holds, right? But again, we've had a lot of trading in this zone area here. So I don't think it'll hold fully. I think it might come back down here. maybe here, like I've said, but again, it's so strong right now. I mean, it's literally defying the odds. So, but if Bitcoin does turn over, guess what? This baby's turning over. So make sure you're paying attention to Bitcoin for that, guys. All right. All right. Next, let's go ahead and pull up our next one here. Actually, let me jump. I think, yeah, I went into the day. So let's check into our X1 automatic and stay AVAX here. AVAX. All right, guys, we came and hit this 89 period moving average. That's nice. All right, so we have this 20 period moving. We have the 8 period moving average from here to down here. Coming down, we'll see what happens. But again, this looks like a lot of the other ones that we're seeing. You can see here though that the volume on this one didn't. It was maybe it was a little more than half of the previous months. So we would want to see more. I'd love to see more than that. But if we can check out the weekly, you can see the weekly we've been coming in strong. So again, it's just another one. We're finding support on that 8 moving average though with AVAX. AVAX is putting in some seller wicks here, but that big buyer wick here is another indicator saying that there are buying stepping in. So wait for it to come back down, test in this 8 period moving average. But I want to hit home the point again that if Bitcoin starts to turn over, this is going to turn over because we don't see so many buyers stepping in on this one. Whereas let's say with that Cardano had a ton of buyers, or Matic, Polygon, right? Polygon had a ton of buyers. So you just want to make sure that you understand what's going on in that aspect. Those buyers give those wicks, and those are a bullish sentiment for that coin. All right, let's jump right into the daily here real quick. You guys can see this is much like the other ones that we saw over the weekend, a lot like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Like I said, we're probably going to come back and test this area here and find out. That's that 1900 mark here. We definitely tested the 89 period moving out to the 25. So I can see us taking off 25% or more down into this area. So yeah, have fun, short it, don't go long. As the market is moving down, never go long as the market is moving down. Let's go to the next one here. Uniswap. I love Uniswap actually. Uniswap is one of my favorites. I've been messing with Uniswap for a while. I think it's a great project. I think what they're doing is great with Ethereum and just everything. I think they're a great project. You guys can see here that we hit the 80 period moving average. Not much difference. Let's look at that monthly though, how we ended on the month. We did get up to the highs here, and we did see a pretty good amount of buys. I was hoping for more buys, but again, I can see it. So we'll see what happens. It did rally though, so it rallied pretty good. So we'll see what happens from there. You can see we are putting higher highs and higher lows. So, but we hit that 89 period pretty hard. So we'll see if it starts to come down. If this puts in lower lows, then we want to see. This may hold, but I really do see it as coming down to the 10 period moving average for AVAX. The only reason why I say that is because this has already been tested, and so because this has been tested, I do see us breaking through this area here and then coming down into this area. We did not put in a higher high here, right? This actually still held the higher high. So it shows weakness. So that's what I'm looking at. Next, let's look at Shiba Inu. I saw them a lot in the news this weekend. I wonder why. I mean, they don't look, like a lot. I don't see, they just, it's not standing out to me, right? So we're definitely seeing it touch the 100 period moving average and seeing a good sell-off. We did find support on this 8 period moving average, and we do have that 89 coming under, right, to be able to hold. Now, sometimes those work really well, and sometimes it's as if they're not there. But the fact is that you have the 8 and 20 period moving average could very much keep its support right here on that daily. Jump on that weekly here. Also, you also have the weekly 8 period moving average kind of in that area. So while it's here, right, there is this wick here, but from here I don't see it holding. Let's go ahead and yeah, it's the same. There we are. Alright, so ship. I will do Tron here real quick. Call it a wraps. Alright guys, check out this month. Now last month, man, we really did not see much buyers. Now 2 months prior, definitely see a lot of people buying it. But prior to that, man, look, last month was definitely kind of a weak month. We didn't even get halfway volume. And additionally to that, we hit the, it's not even trending on the month. It hit the 20 period moving average, and now we're turning around. So I do see us coming back and retesting on Tron on that 4-cent mark. When it comes down to this area, maybe start dollar cost averaging in the 4-cent and 2-cent area. Good area to purchase and kind of get in, because it's one of those. It's another one that's, they're doing a lot of things. So here we go. Talk to me. Alrighty. Check out that daily here real quick. Yeah, Tron putting higher highs, higher lows. They did put this, but it's having a hard time between the moving averages sitting here. You can see we hit it once, we hit it twice. We actually one, 2, 3, 4, and we're kind of staying stagnant in this zone here. Right, so this area here that we're going to use, that might be here for, this might be the sideways motion during this crypto winter in this one. So making sure that you see that so you can play off of it. Also, don't forget that we also have your zones here, your supply zones. You have a supply zone and you have some major SMA sitting above it. So it's going to have to try really hard to get rid of it. All right, guys, I think that is about it. Thank you so much for coming in today. We appreciate you guys. If you guys have any questions, concerns, please ask them in the chat. I'm here. And if you have any chart you want me to look at or anything like that, let me know, and I'll go check them out. All right, guys? All right, much love. I'll talk to you guys soon. And have a blessed day and make it one. Whatever you do, remember, you choose how you're going to act. Many blessings. Bye. Oh.